Welcome in. This is the August Sim broadcast for Field of Dreams Season 7. Give it a moment. See, Bernie's in here. Welcome, Bernie. Play ball. Yep. We have some interesting races coming down. One thing we've done in the last couple seasons is we tend to breeze through August because the trading deadline is over. And we want to really highlight some of the September matchups as we get close to that last and focus on the last month. We'll have some good games to broadcast. So I'm going to press a lot of buttons and do a lot of simming here on this one and take a look. So we got in the Sandlot, Beantown, Philly, Degens, and Chicos all within 3.5. So this could be a very interesting race to see what it looks like as they start September. Lehigh has been losing a lot, but so has everybody else in the money ball. Lancaster has Manchester, within reach, 6.5, and St. Louis with a good lead, but Chicago and Edmonton battling it out. And also think about who might be the wild card teams. Jeff is asking for wins. Ooh, let's see what I can do for you. Exciting races in the rain delay for sure. And what I'll do is sim along, make some commentary, have a little fun. I got about an hour or so here of free time and then post the file again. The goal would be we could get through the postseason here, or I mean the regular season here by Christmas. That would be nice. So it would give us this weekend and that to highlight some of the really good games. Again, any reminder to anybody that since the trade deadline's over, get in your keeper lists. I know 4 or 5 people have already done it. I think I've got mine to turn in today, and it'll get us ready for the postseason festivities as we figure out who's going to be in the playoffs as we wrap up season 7. Also looking to do a broadcast later if Action drops the 2025 version. I've been doing beta testing on that. I plan on doing a broadcast when that drops to go over some of the features of the game, but also talk about some of the image tools and parks and things like that. And also probably try to highlight a little bit more about what our league's all about if people might be interested. We're always looking for expansion owners or replacement owners, and it hard to believe we started in January and here we are wrapping up season 7. So the pace we run, we get through almost 7 seasons in a year, so that's pretty good. Ah, yeah, who can be Mr. December? Let's take a look where we're at. So, game by game. Let's see if I can do better for my team than MV or Bernie have done. But here we go. Florence and Beantown. Florence has been playing a lot better recently. Let's see what we get out of this. Not here. Beantown, who has great pitching, gets a win from their number 5 starter. T-ville keeps it going. Randy Johnson beats Dizzy. Dean's been a little disappointing. If it wasn't for Faber, I don't even think I'd be in the top of my division. Faber's had a great year. Dean's been very unimpressive. Oh, on to the second. I'm going to be hitting some button. Let's take a look at what happens here. D-Gens 4-3. Cleveland beats Lehigh is on a bad streak. I don't know if we've might need to do some kind of a vexing here to get cleansing. Manchester loses, and they need to win to try to catch up to Lancaster. Florence a winner. Philly beats Beantown. That's like those are those matchups that are going to matter. The Chicos, Beantown, Philly, Degens. Crystal Lake. I know Slash had said, hey, he might be playing for the try to get a number 1 pick again in the draft. Let's see. Hagerstown with a win. St. Louis beats Edmonton. Vegas beats Chicos. Cleveland wins the nightcap. Or I mean, Lehigh wins the nightcap. And Washington pounds Manchester 17-7. Let's go on to the third, see what happens. Press some buttons here. Florence with the win. Beantown another. This time they beat Philadelphia. Lehigh shut out by Burt Blyleven. St. Louis over Edmonton. Lancaster loses to Chicago. Manchester with the win. And Vegas beats Chico. So Chico's, uh, who's led the division for several months of the season, is starting now to fall back. They are 5 back, and they were the front runner for a while. Oh, unplayed games out of order. No kidding. I'm supposed to go to the fourth. Went down a week later. So, Philly, a winner over Beantown. Roy Halladay goes to 10-4. Amazing with the win. Edmonton loses to St. Louis. Degen's a winner. Lehigh. Chicago, a winner. Manchester. Florence. Philadelphia edges out Beantown. Edmonton, a winner. They need a win. Chico's in Vegas, and Chico shuts them out. So when we look at the bottom down here now, we're seeing that Philly on top. Degen's a half game back. Beantown 1 game back. Chico's a little farther back. So let's see what transpires here as we move on to August 5th. Degen shuts out Vegas. T-ville. St. Louis. Philly keeps the win streak going. Beantown loses to Cleveland. I'm sure Philly likes to see that. Lancaster a winner. Cy Young beating his old team. Edmonton. Chicago with the win. Manchester wins. How about Degens? Yep, they get a win. St. Louis in the doubleheader splits with Washington, and Florence and Philadelphia. Can Philadelphia sweep Florence? They do. So as we go on to the 7th and take a look here daily, it's interesting. Philadelphia and Degens right there. Beantown a couple back. Lehigh loses, but thank God almost everybody else loses. Otherwise, it'd be pretty bad there. Lancaster with a 5. I don't know. I'm going to put it here in the chat. What are the odds? How many people think Manchester? They're always optimistic. Does Manchester have a chance to close that 5 game gap with Lancaster? Beantown wins. Chico's wins. Manchester loses. St. Louis lost. Hadley Lake beats Lehigh. Man, my Lizards are really hurting. Edmonton with a big win, 13-10. How about Philadelphia playing Florence? And big upset by Florence, 10-1. Crystal Lake over Chicago. And the Degens with the win. On we go. Beantown, loses a close one. St. Louis, a winner. It's kind of like doing the scratch off. You get a bunch of lottery tickets, I feel like. San Francisco, Chico's. Manchester loses. Hadley Lake, they lose. Babe Adams gets a rare win for Lehigh here in the last month or so. And Edmonton, a big win. Can Edmonton, who's really dug in and tried to assemble the best team they can to try to get into the playoffs for the first time ever, never a playoff team yet, can Edmonton do it? Philadelphia, they get a win. Chicago, a win. So let's take a look at that. Chicago now 5 back. Edmonton 6.5 back of St. Louis. On to the 9th. Hadley Lake beats Vegas. Beantown loses to Lehigh. I'm sure Philadelphia likes to see that. And Philly beats the Degens. That's a key win. St. Louis and Lancaster. St. Louis. Chico's a winner. Amazing. Look at this game. 17-11. Chicago a winner. Manchester loses. Edmonton a winner. Hadley Lake wins, and game 2, Chicago loses and splits with Hagerstown. We're seeing this August run take shape. It's going to be a great September, I can already tell. Lehigh shuts out Beantown. I'm sure Philadelphia likes to see that. And Philly gets the combo of Beantown losing and Philadelphia beating the D-Gens. I think Midlife, who's in here watching this, might be happy with those results so far early in August. Chicago a winner, Manchester losing, St. Louis helping the Manchester cause by beating Lancaster. Florence an 8-7 winner. This is Chico's is like on a snowball rolling downhill. I don't know what's going on. Hadley Lake, can Edmonton stay in it? Yes, Christy Mathewson on that Edmonton team with the key win. And on to the 11th. Beantown with a win. Philly keeps the win going for themselves. St. Louis a loss to Lancaster. Chicago, a doubleheader again for Chicago here coming down the stretch. Edmonton with a big win. Can Chicago win? No, they're going to split. And as we move on to the 12th, Manchester loses. Philadelphia loses to the D-Gens. And as we enter into Tuesday the 13th, let's stop and milk this broadcast a little bit. How do you have two double headers in 4 days? Because you didn't play the games earlier in the season when they were scheduled. How about that for an answer? Um, what are we looking at here? Hadley Lake, 8.5 back. D-Gens, Philadelphia now has a 2-game lead. Chicago and Edmonton, 5 back. They're hanging right there. Manchester still hanging back at Lancaster. Lancaster gets beat. D-Gens wins. Chico's loses. Beantown with a loss to Vegas. Vegas could be the spoiler down the stretch, beating some of these teams. Hagerstown a winner. Edmonton, oh, it's a tough loss, a 3-2 loss. And Chicago with the win. There's going to be that's going to be a big race to see who can get the possible wild card, Chicago or Edmonton, because with the win total, it looks like Rain Delay is going to have to produce a division winner. It doesn't look like the wild card record wise is going to come out of there. Same thing over here in Sandlot. It looks like Sandlot will be the one to produce a division winner and by record the wild card. So who will be in the postseason? St. Louis beats Manchester. Philly, 10 innings, a winner over Tville. St. Louis, a doubleheader sweep of Manchester. I'm sure that's got to kill MV. If he's even awake or watching this, who knows? Ooh, Philly loses a 16-inning game. Ouch. Washington 6-5. D-Gens with a loss. Chief Bender shuts out Lehigh. Well, I'm glad my team isn't in the other division. Beantown squeaks one out. Hagerstown with a win. And Edmonton, when they need to keep pace, can they do it? No, Chicago moves ahead on a day where Edmonton loses. Just probably kicking himself like, come on, guys. Lancaster with a win. Manchester returns a favor there. Lehigh with the win. Philadelphia is having a good streak here to start off August. D-Gens 2-0. Hadley Lake loses. Vegas upends Beantown. And San Francisco, 2 days in a row, squeaks by Edmonton. Not what Jeff would like to see. Tville doubleheader. 2 wins over Florence. San Fran looks like they're on a little streak, but man, they've been disappointing, although they are an above 500 team. So the Naturals division has four teams with records well above 500. It's a tough division. Beantown beats the D-Gens. What about Philadelphia? Oh, they lose to a team that they're much better than. It looks like a win for Hadley Lake there. Chico's loses. Vegas, a loss. Garrett Cole with the win. Hagerstown over Lancaster. Manchester moving on to greener pastures, and it doesn't matter. It's amazing. Pounds them. Edmonton shut out by Crystal Lake. What the heck is going on with the Express here? And St. Louis beat Chicago. So now Edmonton's rooting for St. Louis. Washington a winner. This is a lot of these games between these foes here, Philly, Degens, and Beantown. They're not blowouts. They're like one-run wins that can go any way. Good matchups here. Cleveland a winner. Manchester finally gets a win under their belt. T-ville a winner. Chicago up in St. Louis. Philadelphia trying to pull away and can't because they've beat people they want to and they can't beat the ones they should, right? Two losses now to Hadley Lake. Lehigh squeaks by. Lancaster stays out in front, and Edmonton can't buy a win as Doc Gooden gets the win, a newly acquired person on the Crystal Lake team. Florence over T-ville. Washington away. There we go. Philadelphia in 11 innings. Eckersley with the win. Chicago beat St. Louis. Lehigh is a loser. We've got Lancaster right here getting a win. Manchester a win. Florence and T-ville a doubleheader. Flip the script there. And St. Louis and Edmonton finally with the win. Another one-run game. Beantown over Degens. Philly beats Cleveland. Manchester a big winner here. And St. Louis does what Jeff wants and beats Chicago. August 20th, my birthday. It's a big birthday game here. Crystal Lake a winner. Philly a winner. Another one-run game in that division. Beantown 6-5 over Chico's. Tons of one-run games there. San Fran a winner. Lehigh. I'm sure everybody there. I'm sure that my biggest fans right now are Midlife and Mark. I would bet. St. Louis a winner. Chicago goes down. Vegas up. Crystal Lake a winner, and Philly in a doubleheader. Oh, they lose game two. So yeah, August 20th. Let's take a pause, take a look, let everything repopulate. Take a look at league injuries. What are we focused on right here? Looks like McCovey. Ooh, I've lost McCovey to the end of the month. T-ville, Vegas, Florence, and St. Louis has got Jeff Tesreau and Roberto Clemente out pretty much till the end of August. But those are the only big league injury reports going on. What are we looking at here? Take a look at some of the teams that are in the hunt to see what's been progressing. Here's Philly. What do they look like? Box score wise, well, they've won 3 of their last 4. Prior to that, they lost 3 out of 4. So it's interesting, I find, to come back here and take a look at some of the streaks where people get hot, trying to advance. Philadelphia out front. Lehigh's been pretty, well, not too bad here recently, but I went on a spell out here. Lancaster's been doing really well, keeping their distance, but they did have a 4-game losing streak here. There's 2 teams here I want to watch. No love lost here between these 2 great friends. Chicago and Edmonton trying to compete for a wild card slot. And Edmonton losing. Look at this. They win 7 in a row and then lose 5 in a row. Chicago has lost their last three. So this is going to be to see this streak, how it ends in August. Back to the schedule board. What do we got? August 21st. Hadley Lake a winner. San Fran a winner. Lehigh's beats Degens. Mike's like, you, Steve, and your damn team. I'm glad Mike's in here to watch this, but Lancaster, Edmonton 12-3. So Edmonton gets a win. Take a look at what Chicago does. Chico's beats Beantown. Chicago, a loser. Florence, a winner. Edmonton sweeps Lancaster. That's big for Edmonton, winning a doubleheader and Chicago losing. And how does St. Louis do in the doubleheader? They split. So as we go on to the 22nd right now, you can see Chicago, 7 back, Edmonton back. They're neck and neck. I know Chicago's played 2 games less, but we'll see how that works out. Lehigh facing Spud, and doesn't matter. Gettle gets the win. Degens 11-9. St. Louis a winner. Chicago loses to Manchester. So now Jeff has got to be pulling Beantown a loser. Can they do it? Edmonton, no! They get shut out by Lancaster when they needed a win. T-ville a winner. Here is Edmonton doubleheader day, and they lose in 11 innings. David's probably like, yeah. Philadelphia, 10-inning loss as Cy Young upends Philly. Lehigh loses to Chico's. Lancaster a winner. Degens beats Florence. St. Louis beats Chicago. Manchester loses. Beantown. How about Edmonton? Edmonton loses a doubleheader to San Fran when they had Chicago down for the count. T-ville a winner. Degen squeaks one out against Florence. St. Louis shuts out Chicago. So can Edmonton take advantage of that? Philadelphia keeps up the winning ways. Halliday 13-4. Edmonton gets the win when they need it. 1 run, extra innings. Carl Hubble gets a win. Lancaster loses. Crystal Lake and Beantown finally with a win. So here we come into the last week of August. Philly on a roll. Edmonton with a win. So let's look at what Chicago can do. Chico's a win. Lancaster a win. Degens, and they get a win. Guidry, 17-9 now. St. Louis beats Chicago. Beantown a winner. Amazing beats Manchester. Manchester is just, wow. They're hanging close, but Hagerstown in a doubleheader splits. On to the 26th. What do we see? Philadelphia now got a 3-game lead. Degens at home against Beantown with a win. Degens holding down second place and the wild card so far. San Fran with the win. Chico's with the win. Lehigh heads into Vegas and shuts them out. And a doubleheader on this day. And Washington beats them in the second game. On to the 27th. Philly smashes T-ville. St. Louis. Beantown beats the Degens. Lancaster a winner. Edmonton loses to Crystal Lake. So we're going to watch this Chicago game. Can Chicago get a win? They do. Lehigh squeaks one out over Vegas, and a doubleheader. St. Louis sweeps Manchester, killing Manchester's chances to close that gap on Lancaster. Beantown at Degens, a 1-run squeaker win by Beantown. Philadelphia gets upended by T-ville. Randy Johnson with the win. Lancaster a winner. Manchester shut out. This is a doubleheader for Chicago. Loses the first one. Edmonton loses. Vegas loses. And can Chicago win the nightcap? They do in 15 innings and 3 days left in August. Things are shaping up. T-ville beats Philly. Lancaster a winner. Manchester can't buy a win these days. San Fran. Chico's over Degens. Chicago a winner and San Fran a big win over Washington. 2 days left. Let's see what happens. Chicago's extended their lead, but right now, St. Louis has Chicago and San Fran and Edmonton all within a game and a half with what looks like could be the wild card unless Manchester can really go on a streak and make up about 7 games and try to compete for a wild card. Vegas loses. Manchester trying to make up ground, they get a win. Philly beats division opponent Beantown. Degen's a winner. Edmonton a loser. Lehigh wins. Lancaster loses. And Chicago loses. So here we go, the last day of the season. I'm going to press some buttons. Let's see what turns out. Philly with a key win to wrap it up. Vegas a winner. Hagerstown, Hadley Lake, Chicago a winner on the last day of August. Manchester loses. Degen's a winner. Edmonton a loser. Lehigh wins, and Lancaster loses on the last day. So, what do we know? Well, here's what we know. Here's what it looks like. We are through August. I'm going to post this file, and guess what? Let's get the manager files in, and then we can highlight some really fun games down the stretch here as Philadelphia's opened up a bigger lead, but Degens and Beantown still in the race for the division title. And the nice thing is it looks like two of these three teams are going to be in the playoffs. Just which two will it be? A division winner and a wild card. Lehigh has opened up a little bit of a lead here in that division. Lancaster 6 over Manchester now, and it looks like that'd be pretty hard comeback. I still think out of Chicago, San Fran, and Edmonton, and San Francisco's really made a comeback here. Which one of these three teams gets that wild card to enter the playoffs? So, going to be some fun shit talking down the stretch. Let's just put it out there right now. Team pitching wise, Beantown, best staff in the league. Edmonton with the best batting. St. Louis probably the best all around for sure with that record. I mean, they've won 90 games. Like, I mean, top to bottom, this is a tough roster. I think all the pressure is on them to win their first championship. They're like the Atlanta Braves, you know, it's like the best record, best quality team. Can Clue get the dice rolls he needs in the postseason to win? Then the story within the story. Each of the four division last place teams will be in a lottery draw for the first pick in the next year's draft. That's always something to see. And who will be that team that has the best record that just misses the playoffs and thus probably one of the worst drafting positions, right? You're low in the draft and you didn't even get in the playoffs. Who will win that coveted award that nobody wants? Could it be? I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of contenders for that. So anyway, I'll be back over on Discord. Again, Action PC 2025 is supposed to drop tonight at some point. If it drops too late tonight, I won't do it. But if it's at a normal hour, I plan to go on if I can, at least in the morning at the latest, and highlight some of the new features it has, but also walk through some tutorial stuff that people have asked for on photos. And then also when you move from edition to edition, how do you avoid having to reset your ballpark markers and photo assignments and all that good stuff. So plan on doing a combo broadcast about that. And also highlight a little bit about this league. So if some people wander in here like, what's this league all about? Do a little bit of, I guess, advertisement for, what our league's all about. We're completing our first calendar year and we've gotten through what'll be 7 simulated seasons at the pace we do. It's a unique twist on an all-time baseball greats that have players from all over different eras, and also an element of a keeper league where you can advance them forward or backward based on the years you have them. So it's been a really fun year to sim season to sim season to do this league. So I will look forward either tonight or tomorrow morning, based on when that league file or the new action file comes out, to do that broadcast. And I'll drop this file over on our Discord site, get your manager files in, and then this weekend we can highlight some of the September games because there's going to be some good ones to broadcast. So we'll see everybody later.